So Sony is officially focused on the PlayStation 6. We're going to cover that here today, and there are multiple updates I also wanted to cover from the PlayStation meeting, including the launch of Wolverine and Intergalactic, Sony's PC strategy, and new PlayStation studios potentially. And those are the stories we're going to cover today, and if you could hit that like button on the video, thank you to those that do it, and as always, it's very much appreciated. First, do you game on PlayStation 4 or PlayStation 5? Sony has recently confirmed that there are more people playing on PlayStation 5 now compared to the PlayStation 4, which took a while, but now we're here, so I'm curious where you guys currently game. So comment below if you game on PlayStation 4 or PlayStation 5. Let me know down in the comments below. Now, diving into the first story of the video, multiple updates from Sony I wanted to cover from the recent PlayStation meeting, so there are three things that I wanted to focus on here. First up is Sony's PC strategy, reading from Push Square. In a recent Sony business interview, SIE President and CEO Hideki Nishino and Studio Business Group CEO Herman Hulst explained the approach to expanding PlayStation's reach. We continue to look for new and innovative ways to broaden our reach and bring our content and service to the players, says Nishino. The value of the PlayStation console is that it's still the best place to play, and it's growing its reach in even broader ways. Hulst elaborates, talking about how the company is looking to grow its audience on other platforms while retaining the value and draw of its first-party software. It's important to realize that we're really thoughtful about bringing our franchises off console to reach new audiences, and that we're taking a very measured and deliberate approach in doing that, he says, particularly on the single-player side. Our tentpole titles, they're such a point of differentiation for the PlayStation console. They're the real showcases of the performance and quality of the hardware, so we want to make sure that players get the best experience from these titles. We're very thoughtful about how and if we bring these titles to other platforms. So this all sounds like Sony will continue to do what they're already doing to make sure the console is valuable for players, which means probably delayed launches to their titles for other platforms like PC. For me, what I'm curious about is how long is this delay time going forward? Is it shorter or longer? That's what I'm curious to see. I guess we'll find out with Ghost of Yotei as one of the first or next titles from PlayStation Studios. We'll see how that goes. Next up is Wolverine and Intergalactic releases. So this was interesting to see highlighted on Sony's annual tentpole releases PowerPoint. They pointed out that they want to release at least one big title every year, which is something we've heard from them before. So something like a Ghost of Yotei or God of War, those type of big titles. They showcase in their image both Intergalactic and Wolverine as upcoming titles in the same bar. Now, we believe that Wolverine is a 2026 title and Intergalactic is probably a 2027 title. The interesting thing though is everywhere else on that PowerPoint where they have two titles on the same bar, those titles released that year together. Now, I could be digging too deep on that, but I wonder if Intergalactic is targeting 2026. It's interesting also because it seems like Sony doesn't see Sorrows by Housemarque as a huge title, which I guess makes sense since Returnal doesn't or didn't sell like the rest of their big franchises, as we know. But let's see how next year goes. I would assume we'd hear more at the September event later this year, probably a re-reveal of Wolverine. And if Intergalactic is coming out next year, I guess we could hear more then as well. And finally, I wanted to cover PlayStation Studios. So this one was also interesting and has been pointed out by multiple people. Sony showcased their PlayStation Studios on a PowerPoint. On there, we see Team LFG working on Project Gummy Bear, as we know, Dark Outlaw Games, which is run by Jason Blundell, Call of Duty veteran. And what do we see besides Team LFG? Bungie. Now, this is interesting because Bungie, since their purchase, was not considered a PlayStation first-party studio. They were their own studio under Sony, I believe. There were reports that if Bungie failed to meet financial targets, they'd be absorbed into PlayStation Studios, and it's looking like that might have happened, potentially. We'll see. It's just nice also to see Dark Outlaw Games and Team LFG listed out there now in the open and not just some unnamed studios in these different cities. But now, let's talk about PlayStation 6, and if you're enjoying the video so far, hit that subscribe button and join our growing community on our way to 150,000 subscribers. And now diving into the second and final story of the video, Sony is officially focused on PlayStation 6. Reading from PlayStation Universe, Hideki Nishino, president and CEO of Sony Interactive Entertainment, has touched base on the future of PlayStation hardware during a business segment meeting. And while he was not in position to talk about the PlayStation 6 just yet, he made it clear that there's still demand from players for traditional hardware. So this is what he said: cloud streaming is progressing well from a technical standpoint, as we have demonstrated with our offerings, but end-to-end network stability is not in our control, and the higher cost per playtime compared to the traditional console model remains a challenge. Cloud gaming is increasingly providing an additional option for players to access content, but our belief is that the majority of players continue to want to experience gaming through local execution without dependency on network conditions, and PlayStation 5 and PlayStation 5 Pro have validated this thesis, I believe. We now have a large ecosystem of highly engaged players across both the PlayStation 5 and PlayStation 4 generations, so naturally, therefore, there's a huge interest in our next generation console strategy. While we cannot share further details at this stage, the future of the platform is top of mind. We are committed to exploring a new and enhanced way for players to engage with our content and services. So while this is nothing in terms of actual information in regards to the PlayStation 6, Sony is clearly eyeing what's next. We know that behind the scenes they've been shifting over to the next generation, the PlayStation 6, but now it seems like they're getting more open about mentioning like that's where we're going next. It's coming, it's on the way. With reports that the first PlayStation 6 chip fabrication is happening later this year, Sony's clearly gearing up for the next generation of their platform, especially since next year they're dropping like strictly PlayStation 4 support for the PlayStation Plus in terms of adding new games. They'll add PS4, PS5 games that are on both platforms, but strictly PlayStation 4 games, they're not going to add anymore in PlayStation 6, which is what they did with the PlayStation 3 a year before the PlayStation 5 launched in 2019. So there's a possibility that we'll get our first set of official information on the PlayStation 6 sometime next year if Sony does intend on launching this thing in late 2027. This is pretty much what happened with the PlayStation 5 as well in 2019 when we got that Mark Cerny Wired article. So it looks like Sony's clearly following the same or similar formula that they had with the PlayStation 4 to PlayStation 5 transition over here for PlayStation 5 to PlayStation 6. Things are kind of falling into place. Next year could be very interesting for the PlayStation 6. New game releases, of course, on the PlayStation 5 and even the PlayStation handheld. But you guys let me know if you're excited to hear more on the PlayStation 6 next year or not. Let me know down in the comments below. And if you guys did enjoy this video, please hit that like button, as it always helps, and subscribe if you're new. I got new videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And now I'll check you guys out on the next one. And welcome back to the after show. This is the part of the video where we have a little fun down in the comments below. If you're old, welcome back. If you're new, welcome. For today's thing, what I want you guys to do is to body, obliterate, destroy, and overall harass the comment section with the power of PlayStation. This is obviously in reference to the next generation of PlayStation. I'm excited to see what they do because next generation features are going to be a big part of that as well, like a big focus, especially with AI and what they could do with that in terms of the console space. So I'm very interested to see all of that come next generation. If you are as well, destroy the comment section with the power of PlayStation, and I'll definitely heart those comments like I always do because I appreciate everybody who stays to the end of my videos. And now I'll check you guys out on the next one.